Hello students. Today we will discuss about administrative law and this is lecture 1 of this series. Our topics are meaning and definition, nature and scope, relation between administrative and constitutional law, and this is it. Let's begin with meaning and definition. What is administrative law? Administrative law is a branch of public law. Which is concerned with the competition, powers, duties, rights and liabilities of the various organs of government which are engaged in public administration. Various attempts have been made to define administrative law, but none is complete and satisfactory. Some definitions are very short, while others are lengthy. Administrative, as we have already discussed, administrative law is a branch of public law. Then what is public law? Public law is a law that defines or that gives a relation between public plus government. Okay, this public law is of two types: constitutional law and the second one is administrative law. Okay, some jurists and some jurists are very important, like Austin, Dicey, Jennings, Holland, I.P. Massey. They have given not only they but also there are a lot of jurists. Those have given definition about administrative law. Okay, but I will give you some definitions. Like I will give you definition of Austin and Jennings. It's your work to find out definition of Dicey, Holland and I.P. Massey. Okay, according to Austin, administrative law is to determine the ends to and modes in which sovereign powers shall be exercised. They shall be exercised in directly by monarch or sovereign member, or directly by subordinate political superiors to whom portions of those are delegated or committed in trust. Okay, this is the definition of Jennings. This is the definition of Austin. While Jennings defined administrative law as a law related to administrative powers and duties of administrative authorities. As I have already said that it's your duty to find out definitions of Dicey, Holland and I.P. Massey. To sum up, we may define administrative law as that branch of public law which deals with organization and powers of government and signifies the relationship between the state and the individual. With this, we have completed meaning and definition of administrative law. We will move to our next topic, that is nature and scope. First, we will discuss about nature of administrative law. Nature. Administrative law includes statute law, administrative rules, statute law, administrative rules, precedent, custom, administrative functions, administrative directions, etc. It also includes study of something which may not be termed as law in true sense, like administrative circulars, policy statements, resolutions and memorandum, etc. Administrative law is primarily deals with relationship of individual with organized powers. Further, it deals with organization and powers of administrative and quasi-administrative agencies. Its study includes not only administrative agencies such as corporation, but also with boards, universities and memorandum. So, in the university in which you are studying is also comes under administrative law. These are administrative agencies. University is also an administrative agency. Administrative law includes study of existing principles and also of the developments of certain new principles which administrative and quasi-administrative agencies must follow while exercising their powers in relation to individual, that is, the principles of natural justice, reasonableness and fairness. In India, administrative law is basically and wholly a judge-made law. It's a judge-made law. And thus, administrative law suffers from facilities and benefits from the strength of judicial law making. Scope. Whose scope? Scope of administrative law. Administrative law primarily concerns itself with the official action which may be 1. Rule making, rule decision action. 3. Rule application action. So, administrative law primarily concerns itself with the official action which may be rule making. They can make rules, rule decision action or rule adjudicatory action, rule application action. These are the three we can say primary concerns of administrative law. Beside these three main actions, the action which are incidental to the main action are also covered within the study, such as incidental action. Which action? Incidental action, declaratory and persecutory. Incidental action, declaration action, persecution action. Beside these three actions, there are these three actions. Administrative law also includes within its scope the control mechanism by which administrative agencies are kept within bounds and made effectively in the service of individuals. This control mechanism is technically called review process. Review process. I am writing the key terms, the important terms I am writing. Some administrative actions are those are within the scope. I will give some administrative action, those are within the scope in point wise order, and there will be 7 points. You can write it down. The point number 1 is court exercising with jurisdiction. Court exercising within jurisdiction. Court exercising within jurisdiction. Court will exercise under jurisdiction, but through what? How court exercise within their jurisdiction? Through writs of habeas corpus, writs of mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, quo warranto. Court will exercise within jurisdiction through writs of habeas corpus, writs of mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, and quo warranto. This is point 1. When question ask about scope of administrative law, you have to write this much in point 1. I will give, as I have mentioned earlier, I will give 7 points. You must write it down in as point 1. Point number 2. Courts can exercise ordinary jurisdiction power also. Ordinary jurisdiction power. But how courts will exercise it? Through suits, injunction, declaratory action. Okay, courts can exercise ordinary powers of jurisdiction through suits, injunction, and declaratory action. Point number 3. Under the scope of administrative law, higher administrative authorities also comes. Point number 4. Public opinion and mass media in the 20th century is also an important control on our administration, which cannot be ignored. In America, opinion and mass media exercise much more effective control on the administration than any other single control mechanism, and has the potential of preempting any adverse administrative decision. easy access to justice easy access to justice Easy access to justice also provides an effective check on bureaucratic adventurism in the exercise of public power. Point number 6. The key function of administrative rule is to find the way in which the administration could kept within limits so that the discriminatory power may not become arbitrary and unfair power. So the second last point has key terms like limits to administrative power. Administrative power is a huge responsibility. We have, as we know, where there is power, a great power has a great responsibility, like that administrative power is a great power, and if there is no limits or there is no control over this power, it can devastate our society. So they have some limitations, and this limitation is given by which law? Administrative law. The seventh and last point is the task of administrative law is to reconcile in the field of administration democratic safeguard and standards of fair play with effective conduct of government. Now that we have completed point number 1 and 2 mentioned here, let us conclude this lecture here and continue the other point written here in the next lecture in this lecture series. Bye bye.